Okay, hey everybody, welcome back to Spiritually Fly Sunday the Word. I started recording this a little bit earlier and I had a phone call that came in and the phone call kicked out my sound. So I am restarting everything for this session. So I'm going to start straight from the beginning. So we have a full clean video. So welcome back to another Spiritually Fly Sunday, the word. Today's word is breathe. Of course, all of the sessions that I offer come from my book and inspired by my book, Spiritually Fly, Wisdom, Meditations, and Yoga to Elevate the Soul. You can grab the book everywhere. And if you notice in the caption, today's word is breathe. And one of the reasons I wanted to share this is because I actually just completed our Sunday session for my new breathwork training. So I actually am, and which I started literally a couple of weeks ago, I started training people in breathwork. And the reason that I created a breathwork training, where I'm actually training individuals how to guide breathwork sessions. My technique, my method is called intuitive breathwork, and it is merged with deep, intense breathing practices, guided visualization. The whole goal is to support healing. Also, the technique and the method that I use to walk people through is all about shifting and changing your brain, your patterns. So it's a lot of neuroplasticity just layered all throughout my breathwork sessions that I do. If you've been lucky enough to actually join me over the past year at a festival or at a workshop, I did some here in DC, which I mentioned in a previous video. I do breathwork sessions on ancestral healing. I do breath work, oh my goodness, to support women. I do breath work to, like today's session that I guided my trainees on was all about releasing and letting go. I absolutely love teaching breath work. I love sharing breathing techniques. But again, this is a intuitive breath work method that is all about healing, reparenting, resetting our DNA, supporting our own personal growth and development. And yeah, it's a really powerful, I have to say, it's really, really powerful in helping people shift and support them in their own emotional, spiritual work, right? Their own journey that they're on. That's why today's reading will focus on the word breathe. Now, breath work is essential to my lifestyle. It's essential. It has served as an essential tool to my own personal healing and development. And inside of my book, within the first section, Sutra 1, Chapter 1, that section is called Lead with Love. And inside of this section, on page 17, there is a section called Create a Foundation to Breathe. So before you dive into the depths of this book and you get into all of the methods and the techniques and the journaling and like the meditations and the yoga practices that I share, I set a foundation. I set the foundation of breath work. In the beginning of the book, I share 3 breathing techniques, but what I was doing today was actually training teachers on breath work approach, right? A breathwork session, how to guide an hour-long, 2-hour-long breathwork session. There's a big difference between breathing techniques and breathwork. So breathing techniques are like these methods that, like Ujjayi Pranayama, Kapalabhati breathing, right? Fire breath, right? All of those are breathing techniques that are like standalone. When you're doing breath work, you're actually going deeper. I want to do that again. You're going deeper than just your ordinary breath work. It is this long, extended breathing practice. It is a process as the guide that you are moving people through. And as you guide them through this hour-long session. This sometimes it can be shorter. It can be a 30-minute session. You are supporting a shift, a neurological shift, a DNA shift. A lot of my work that I do, but very specifically my method, the intuitive breath work, is all based on neuroplasticity. It's also very much based on my energetic experience, my energetic gifts, my knowledge, my years of experience of being a practitioner, of being a trainer, of being a guide. And I really tap into my own wellspring of knowledge, and that's when I created intuitive breath work. So let's get down to the importance of breath and maybe do a breathing technique, not a breathwork session. I do want to say, actually, before I read, I want to share that one thing that I am really inspired by, or I have been motivated by, not inspired, what I've been motivated by is to actually offer breathwork sessions around ancestral healing, because I have been doing my own ancestral healing for several years, and I find that breathwork has really supported my ability to release ancestral trauma, release my own personal trauma, pain and suffering, and supported my own personal healing. I also want to be able very soon to create safe spaces for people of color to come in and actually move through breath work guided by a person of color. And I really hope to be able to offer that really, really soon. I do travel, so if you are interested in hosting or co-hosting with me a session in your city, I definitely would love to come and again create a safe space for people of color. Also, one of my other areas of focus is creating safe spaces for women. I usually do that at the end of the year. I usually have like a women's focused retreat. I haven't done that since 2019, in December 2019. So it's been a really long time since I've hosted a very specific session for women, but I also want to be able to offer some breathwork sessions specifically for women, specifically in women that have experienced levels of domestic violence and whatnot. So keep that in mind. Yes. Yeah, there are a couple of questions on here, comments. Definitely hit me up in my DM if you have a space or a place where I can come and offer breath work. Can definitely do that. Also, the next question was, when will you be offering intuitive breath work and meditations again? I see that one already started. Yes, the session started November 9th. Definitely we'll bring it back very soon. Sometime early mid 2022, I'll offer that training again. The last thing is, not only can I offer breathwork sessions in person, but I can also do the trainings in person. So yeah, wow, lots of places to host. So excited. Definitely DM. So let's get down. Thank you everyone for offering and sharing your thoughts and comments in the chat box. Let's get down to the reading around breath so you guys can kind of hear what I wrote in the book. So again, I'm reading from page 17, and the section is Create a Foundation to Breathe. And I'll read a little bit. So actually I'm going to read the poem and the statement before I go into the paragraphs. Breath, body, soul. Shedding the layers, unraveling the discomfort, letting go of yesterday, and awakening to today. So that actually is on this little section outside the full-on reading. Breathing is an essential component of life and is crucial to the practices of yoga and meditation. Without conscious breath flowing through you, it is impossible to absorb and feel the connection between body and mind. When you visualize breath moving into one area, your molecular structure will immediately shift. This is like science, baby. Will immediately shift, and as a result, your body responds positively. I'm going to jump down to another section. When breathing is approached with attention and devotion, it becomes a habit that gives you time to pause. So I want to read that again. When breathing is approached with attention and devotion, it becomes a habit and gives you time to pause. The one thing that I do every single day is do some very conscious, intentional breathing. So the breathing goes way beyond, meaning the breathing techniques that I use go way beyond just taking a simple inhale and exhale. I really try to stimulate my body, my mind in some way with my breath work. Sometimes, right, on those moments when I need to slow down, right, or I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling angry or frustrated, I will pause and take long, deep breaths. But typically, if I need to awaken, right, if I need to clear my mind, maybe behind the desk, right, my mind is a little foggy, I will use a very specific breathing technique to clear the cobwebs. If I need to detoxify my physical body, I'll do that. If I know for a fact that I've been overworked and stressed, I will do a breathing technique to soothe my nervous system. Read a little bit more. When you pause, you create pockets of time to reflect. When you reflect, you access your state of being. And in that, gratitude and self-acceptance turn into self-love. Basically, self-care has an amazing ability to ripple into self-love. So remember, this message around breath is in the chapter that is called Lead with Love. So that's kind of why that self-love aspect is threaded in. When you activate deep care for yourself without compromise, you intuitively see what's in front of you with a neutral mind and an open heart. So I think that's the powerful thing about the breath, is that when we consciously, intentionally, with intention, with pure devotion, make an effort to engage the power of our breath and use it as a tool for personal healing, we have the ability to shift, we are able to reflect, we're able to see a whole lot clearer, and we open up this aspect of powerful self-healing. So we don't want to discount the power of breath. Let's talk a little science here. On a scientific level, conscious breathing allows oxygen to move more efficiently through the body, promotes concentration, and boosts overall vitality. It puts the body in a place of healing and changes the response of the body's automatic nervous system. As the breath flows, this is really important. As the breath flows, it fires messages to the brain to make adjustments in the parasympathetic system, which slows the heart rate and generates a feeling of calmness in the sympathetic system. In moments of fear and anger, or even depression, the breath has the power to draw the body and the mind into a place of harmony. Let's do some breathing, baby. All right, guys, let's do some breathing. So, get nice and comfy in your seat. Rub your hands together. And I want you to place your hands right above your navel center. Right? So I just want you to feel the body, feel the hands touching the body. Notice your breath right now. So don't do any deep, intense breathing. Just notice the quality of your breath in this moment. And then take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale out of the mouth. One more time like that. Deep breath in through your nose. And exhale out of your mouth. And then seal your lips. Just allow the breath to flow naturally in and out of your nose. And keep your left hand on your belly, because I just want you to feel that. And then I want you to take your right hand. This is one of my techniques where I'm like, I need to calm down. I need to drop into that moon energy, that sweet, love cradled energy. I need to calm the fire. Yeah. Take your right thumb, close off your right nostril. This is left nostril breathing. Again, just keep your hand on your body. If you want to even lift your left hand and move it to your heart, that is okay. And I just want you to take long, deep breaths in and out of your left nostril. Keep the shoulders relaxed and now allow the breath to stay steady and smooth. Now again, the left nostril breathing is perfect for calming and soothing your nervous system. It's great for doing, or in those moments when you feel a little anxious. It's great to do right before going to bed. So we're going to do this for a few more seconds and know that you can do this anytime, anywhere, right? So even if you're like on the train, I used to live in New York, I was always on the subway. So I'd keep my eyes open, just kind of focus my eyes in one place when I would do this. And just breathe in and out of my left nostril. Sometimes when you're feeling frustrated with someone, or even in those moments where you know that you may need to have a difficult conversation, you want to step into that conversation with power and grace. This is also another great breathing technique. All right. Go on and breathe in through your left nostril one more time. All together, everybody. Release your right hand. Keep holding the breath just for a few seconds. And then exhale out of both nostrils. So that was just a quick little simple breathing technique, left nostril breathing. I talk about that in the first chapter. So that technique, left nostril breathing, is inside of my book, Spiritually Fly, Wisdom, Meditation, and Yoga to Elevate the Soul. And again, this is Spiritually Fly Sunday, the Word, and our message in the read for today was all about breath. There was a question. Please, what is the name of the book? Baby, Spiritually Fly. If you go anywhere, like if you just type it, you just type it online, you can get it a lot of places. It is like literally everywhere. So it's Spiritually Fly, Wisdom, Meditations, and Yoga to Elevate the Soul. It includes all of that and so much more. There's a little life, there's a little autobiography in there because I want to definitely share where these things come from, these techniques come from. There's breathing techniques, there's meditation practices, there's journaling practices, there are tips and tools on how to navigate your life. There are yoga practices and movement practices. There's mudras, there's mantras, there's affirmations. What can I say? Oh my God. Every time I think about it, guys, this is like the book. Every time I read from it, I'm having a moment right now. I'm having a moment of like, just a proud moment, because this is like some serious life work. And it never ever, like, the feeling around what's in this book just never gets old. And I know that there's so much more to share. Like, this is just a small, tiny, baby little piece of the work that I've been doing for years, because I've been teaching since 2003. And this book covers so much of my work. And yeah, I love when people ask me about the book. because it gives me an opportunity to share that it's more than just like some basic techniques. It's like all pure love. And that's why it's so important. And that's why actually it's so important for me to do these Spiritually Fly Sundays, so people truly understand that what I'm offering is not just another yoga book, or what's in here is just like some meditation. This is life shifting, right? I specifically created this book as a way to support people in elevating their life. Kind of, that's what it says, elevate your soul, in aiding them in their own journey, their physical, emotional, spiritual journey. And yeah, it's something to be proud of. And I often like don't say that about the work that I do, but this is something that I'm extremely proud of, because it came from my heart and my soul, and it has a lot in it. And every time I open it up, I'm like, dang, there's something to share. Dang, there's something to share. Oh my God, there's something else to share. So that's what I want to do every Sunday, on those Sundays when I have an opportunity, is to share a little piece. But I do encourage you, if you can, to grab a copy, because I do guide you through major practices that you can do in order to shift. Because doing one breathing technique and having all these little tools in your pocket are great, but the shift and the change happens when you actually commit to something long term, because that's when the behavior changes, and that's when the massive shifts happen. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for joining me today. Hopefully, if you've never done left nostril breathing, you learned something new. If you've done it before, maybe you've been reminded of how soothing it can be. And again, I really appreciate your time for joining me. I'm definitely going to share this in your feed, so feel free to share it with your friends, your family, or whoever may need it. Don't forget to breathe, especially in these times that we are in. Got to pause, we got to breathe, so that we stay in our power and that we maintain our worth. Satnam, Ashe, and have a beautiful, beautiful week. Ciao, guys.